Okay, good morning, everyone. You are most welcome to DPENOMICS Academy, where we make economics simple and practical. Yeah, my name is Eustace Chigode Oswago, and I'm truly excited that you are here with me today. In our previous lesson, we carefully discussed the topic national income and what it means, why it matters, and how we avoid double counting. So today we are taking a step further into something even more interesting, and we'll be learning about two very important economics concepts, and they are the GDP, which is gross domestic product, and the GNP, which is gross national product. So we will also see three simple ways economists measure GDP. So now, I know these terms may sound technical, even more or even a little scary, but remember what we always say at DPENOMICS Academy. Economics is not difficult, right? It only needs clear explanation. So relax, take a deep breath, right? And understand every step by step in the simplest way possible. So, a quick thought. When different members of a family earn money from different activities, how do you think a whole country add up everyone's earning? So, I want you to keep the question in mind because by the end of this lesson, you will understand it perfectly. Now, what is GDP? What is GDP? GDP means gross domestic product. It may sound complicated, but it is actually simple once we break it down, right? Now, the key word here is domestic, which means inside a country. Let's pick it one after the other. Domestic, which means inside a country. Gross means total, right? Product means all goods and services produced. Now, what is GDP? Now, GDP is the total value of all goods and services produced within a country in 1 year. So, it doesn't matter who produced them. What matters is where the production took place, which is inside the country's border, right? Now, I'll give you a real life illustration. Let's think of Nigeria as a large fenced compound, like the video we have here. Look at the video is fenced, right? With different people, different shops inside the video, inside the fenced image, right? So let's think of Nigeria as a large fenced compound. Anything produced inside the fence counts as Nigerian GDP. Now, for example, a Nigerian farmer grow rice in Benue. It counts as Nigerian GDP. A Lebanese company build houses in Abuja. It counts as Nigerian GDP. A Chinese company manufacture shoes in Lagos. It counts as Nigerian GDP. Now, why does it count as Nigerian GDP? This is because all the production happened inside Nigeria. Are we together? I hope I'm communicating. Now, in your own personal reflection, can you think of something that is produced in your community that contributes to Nigerian GDP? Now, a very simple definition of GDP is total money valued of everything produced inside a country in 1 year. Importantly, inside a country. Okay. Now, also another example is imagine your school is a small country. To know how productive the school is, you would count everything produced inside. The lesson taught, the books sold, services provided, you wouldn't worry about where the teachers come from. As long as the activity happened inside the school, it counts as the GDP, right? It doesn't matter if the teacher teaching that topic or teaching that subject come from Ethiopia, come from US. As long as they are in Nigeria, it counts as Nigerian GDP. Okay? Now, it is important that you take this with you, that GDP focuses on location, production inside the country. Okay? Now, moving to what GNP is all about. Now that we have understand or clearly understand GDP, we'll move to something very similar but slightly different, which is GNP. What does GNP mean? GNP means gross national product. This time, the word national, which refers to a country's citizen. So GNP is, like we said in GDP, gross is total. National means every citizen of a particular country. Product, goods and services produced, right? So GNP is the total value of goods and services produced by a country's citizens, no matter where they are in the world. Whether they are within the country, outside the country, Nigeria, US, wherever they are, their value of the value of their goods and services produced are measured in their own country's GNP. Now let's take a short story. Imagine a Nigerian doctor working in the United Kingdom. His or her salary is earned outside Nigeria, so it does not count in the Nigerian GDP. But because he or she is in Nigeria, it counts in the Nigerian GNP. Do you really understand what I'm saying? Now, I may be a teacher or an educator or a lecturer. I am in Nigeria, but I am lecturing in a school in the United States. Now, my income received as salary in the United States does not count as Nigerian GDP because I am not in Nigeria. So it counts as the United States GDP. But because I am in Nigeria, my income counts in the Nigerian GNP, which is the Nigerian Gross National Product. Okay? Now, a powerful comparison or comparison between the GNP and the GDP is the GDP cares about where production happens, right? But the GNP cares about who owns the production. So the formula for the GDP is the formula for the GNP is GNP equals GDP plus income earned by citizens abroad. So income earned by foreigners, right? Income earned by foreigners inside the country. From our slide, you can see the formula GNP equals GDP plus income earned by citizens abroad. So every income earned by every citizen outside Nigeria is calculated under the GNP, right? Now, when a citizen works abroad and sends money home, GNP rises. Now, just see how it works. If I'm working abroad and I'm sending money to my family or friends in Nigeria, the GNP of Nigeria increases. So when foreign companies earn profit locally and take them out, let's say a Lebanese company in Nigeria or a Chinese company in Nigeria, as they earn profit from what they have produced and they send it home to their country in China or in Lebanese, the GDP may rise or may be high in Nigeria, but the GNP is lowered. So it is important that you know that GDP is about location, while GNP is all about nationality. Okay? So now the big picture is, how do economics actually calculate GNP? How do economics calculate GDP? Sorry, how do we measure GDP? So there are three major methods, and when done correctly, all the three gives the same result. Now, the first one we have here is what we call output approach. The output approach adds all value of final goods and services produced in the country. Final goods and services produced in the country. Example of this is farmers selling rice. The millers processes it. Retailers sell to the final product. So when we do not add every stage, that would cause double counting when we add all stage, right? But when we talk of final goods, the final thing that was produced by the seller, by the producer, the final income that comes in is what we count as the output approach. Okay, so the output approach focuses on what is produced. Now, we have what we call the income approach. Here, the income approach adds all income earned in the country: wages, rent, interest, profit. Because production creates income, total income must equal total production. Now, the third one is what we call the expenditure approach. This method adds all spending in the economy. Like what we have here, we have the gross domestic product equals C plus I plus G plus X minus M. So we are adding consumption plus investment plus government expenditure plus export minus import. Okay, so import are subtracted because they were not produced locally. We brought them from outside, right? So the big idea is, whether we measure production, income, or spending, we are observing the same economy from three different angles, right? So the final answer should be the same. So now, this brings us to today's lesson, to the closure of today's lesson, the end of today's lesson. So today we clearly learned what GDP means, what GNP means, and the difference between them, and three methods of measuring GDP. Remember, economics is not about memorizing definition. It's about understanding how the economy works. So if this lesson helped you, please subscribe to the DPENOMICS Academy on YouTube, like the video, share with classmates, drop your questions in the comment section, turn on notification for future lessons. So in our next class, we are going to explore what real GDP and nominal GDP is all about. We'll talk about per capita income. We'll talk about how economic growth is measured. And after that, we'll break down GDP, GNP, and NNP, why their differences matters, and what they reveal about a country's economy. All will be cleared with real-life example. So I am Eustace Chigozie Oswago, and this is DPENOMICS Academy, where economics becomes simple, practical, and powerful. Keep learning, keep growing, keep building your economics understanding. I will see you in our next class. Thank you.